Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome in. This is Big B here from Nation.com, back here with another video, and today is finally about that time. We have 2024 NBA playoff predictions here. So just like what we did for the NFL, I don't know when that was, like 2 months, all the way back in February. We will be still doing picks with some of my subscribers. Some of my subscribers will be on here. We're going to make picks together, all that stuff. So that's going to be fun. We have about like 9 people in this year's NBA playoff picks. So that's going to be so much fun to break that down with them. And let's see who comes out with the winner on that side. By the way, if you guys haven't checked out, what we did the same thing for NFL. So if you guys haven't checked that out, make sure you guys do that as well. Yeah, so I'm very curious who's gonna win this year in NBA. So, like I said, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys do like and subscribe right here to the channel. On our way to 130 subscribers, make sure you guys could join the Discord, do all that fun stuff here on the channel. Anyway, as you guys can see, my official records right there for the NBA season. Last week I went 41-16, bringing my overall record to the year to 805 and 422. That is like 200 wins better than what I did last year, and I have 15 undefeated days this season. So that was pretty. It was a pretty good season for me. I can't complain about getting above 800 wins. I only had like 600 wins last year, so. So yeah, I finished like near like 500 last year. So to me, be able to get close to 400 games, above 500 this year, it felt great. It felt great. But like I said, so just like what we did for the NFL, this is my predictions. How I think the actual bracket is going to go. Like, this is actually not my predictions. This is just how I think the bracket is going to go. This is actually think how the NBA playoffs are going to go out. So, yeah. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started here. And by the way, one more announcement before we get started. I'm not going to be doing NBA Week 25 reactions, and the only reason is because we have nothing to really look at there because benching people applicate. We have because we had to do like benching stuff and all that stuff. So I'm not really worried about Week 25 NBA reactions. So if you guys are looking forward to that video, I'm not going to do that this time because there's really no reason for me to react to games that we already know that's capable of or whatever. So. Yeah, so just putting that announcement out there. But anyway, let's go ahead and look at the final conference standings here. Um, you know, I am gonna do the video in a minute. I'm gonna rank NBA teams how I thought they performed this season. I will do that here in a little bit. But yeah, we got Boston, New York. By the way, that video probably should be out by the time I'm recording it, so make sure you guys go check that out as well. Boston finished its first. New York stole this 2 seed away from Milwaukee. And here's that: it feels like Milwaukee's always a 3 seed for some random reason. Like Milwaukee is always a 3 seed. Like I think this is the Bucks' fourth. No, this is the Bucks' third time in a 3 seed in the last 4 years. Like that's insane. Cleveland, Orlando, likewise Orlando this year. Indiana makes the playoffs. Playing tournament, we got Philly, Miami, Chicago, and Atlanta, and then those are the 5 teams that their season will already be coming to an end. But anyway, let's take a look at the West here real quick. OKC snagged the 1 seed. Denver falls to the 2 seed. Denver probably should have won the West. Denver probably should have that 1 seed covered, but they fall to San Antonio. Minnesota falls to 3 because they lost to the Suns. Clippers, Dallas, they stuck around here for a long time. Phoenix clinches the playoffs because New Orleans Pelicans lost. Lakers are currently the 8th seed. As a Lakers fan, that's the position that we needed to be in. And Sacramento, Golden State finishes off the play-in tournament. As Houston finished 500 and didn't make the playoffs. And you go Utah, Memphis, Portland, and San Antonio. So those were our standings this year for the Western Conference. Alright, so guys, so let's dig in. We have a lot of games to get into, so hopefully your favorite team makes it far that I'm predicting, and yeah, let's go ahead and get it. Alright, so we're starting off with the NBA's play-in tournament here. We have a fun one here. We got the Lakers at the Pelicans, which is a 7 versus 8 matchup. Listen, I like this matchup here for my Lakers. Just saying, and generally, I like this matchup for it. Listen, we just beat the shit out of New Orleans just last night. and I have the world of confidence in my boys to win this game. I think my boys are capable enough to win this game. And since I got to be a little bit biased here, I'm gonna pick the Lakers to win this game. I do think we advance. I think we go into New Orleans. I think we beat them again, and I think the Lakers go to the playoffs. Plus, you can't ever count out LeBron, AD. Now I am worried about the Pelicans because the Pelicans could come out with a heater, like they could shoot the heater, they could respond. Zion Williams is probably gonna bounce back. CJ played a good game. Bi is probably gonna bounce back. So the Lakers have to keep that same focus as we did. Um, as we did last night when we played New Orleans. But I believe in my guys. I think we can win this game. I think we can secure the 7th seed and play Denver in the first round. Now, it's not ideal. Now, if the Lakers lost this game, I'll be perfectly fine because we have a second chance and we avoid Denver in the first round, which we'll get into that in a minute. But I do think the Lakers win and the Lakers take care of the 7th seed. All right, and next up we have our 10 versus 9 game in the Western Conference. Next up we got the Warriors at the Kings, and this is an all-time classic. This is going to be a very good game. And the reason is because every single time these two teams face, it's always a good game. But here's the thing. The Warriors may not been the most talented team that you guys think they probably were going to be this year. You didn't think they were going to be this team that was like all dominant and stuff. You can say the same thing about Sacramento, but here's the thing. I'm gonna give you my one reason why I think is gonna win this game. Do I want Sacramento to win this game? Absolutely. I am rooting for Sacramento here. Like, believe me, I want to get this pick wrong. It's the only reason why I want to see the Kings in the playoffs more than I want to see the Warriors in the playoffs. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Warriors are going to show up. They're going to show their mental toughness, and I think the Warriors are going to get through what they have been getting through the last couple of years, finding ways to win games that they really shouldn't win games, and that's the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors, the Warriors always had the Kings number. Like that's one. I'll be honest. The Warriors always had the Kings number, especially in Sacramento, which is going to be fun because both of these two teams faced off in last year's playoffs, which I do think is going to be fun. But I think the Warriors are just going to show their mental toughness here. They're going to show Sacramento their mental here. Like, you guys know what I'm saying. Like, the Warriors are going to pick up that fire intensity. Plus, I can see Steph going off for like another 50 plus something or anyway. Anyway, I got the Warriors winning just simply because they're just going to show their mental toughness and they're going to show that they're the Warriors. But it's unfortunate though. All right, and now let's move on to the Eastern Conference here at the side of the play-in tournaments. Anyway, we have the 8-seeded Miami Heat taking on Philly, or going at Philly. Anyway, man, another good one here. This one's actually probably the hardest play-in tournament game to predict because you don't know what to expect out of both teams here. Philly can get high in the moment. They look good without Embiid. They close out the season really well. Miami's the threat to anyone, whoever they face. But here's the number one problem, right? Even though this game is in Philadelphia, Philadelphia has one problem. I know you have Joel Embiid back. I know you're probably favored to win this game, but you have one problem. Jimmy freaking Butler. He's going to carry the Heat to a win here. Don't be surprised here, man. This is the Heat, man. This is what they do. They don't give two shits about the regular season. As long as they go out there and make somehow in the play-in tournament, they are going to make noise in the NBA playoffs, and that's what I think the Miami Heat's going to do here. Miami is capable of winning this game. They beat Philly in the series last time these two met in the playoffs. I know this is in Philadelphia, and this one could come back to bite me. But Jimmy freaking Butler, man, that's the person that you do not want to deal with in the NBA playoffs. Miami takes it. All right, and next up we have our 10 versus 9 game. We have Atlanta at Chicago. I don't know what to really expect in this game. I really don't because I'm just looking at this game like, I mean, seriously, I just don't know what to predict here. Like, I don't know what to expect. I can see maybe a Trae Young bounce back game, like a DeMar DeRozan good game, Kobe White bounce back game. I don't know, Vucevic good game. I don't know, Devontae Murray goes off. I mean, I don't know what to expect here. But I am going to take Atlanta just simply because I like them better on the road than Chicago at home. And let's be honest here when we say it, I don't think Chicago has been really that good at home this year. But I'm not going to say it. Let me verify that. I think Chicago has been playing better as a team on the road than they have been at home. So in that regard, I do think Atlanta's going to clutch up here. At least I do think they have some playoff experience, but I do think it's going to lead the Hawks towards the win here over the Bulls. But if the Bulls win, I mean, I would be happy, but I'm going to go with Atlanta. All right, and now we have our 10 versus 7 game. Anyway, our second round of the playing tournament. Anyway, we got the Warriors at the Pelicans. This is a shame here by the Pelicans. Like, this is absolutely a shame. You're playing against another other than the Golden State Warriors, who the Warriors know how to win in these situations, and unfortunately, I just think that's what's just gonna happen again. I want to pick New Orleans here, but I wasn't gonna pick the New Orleans last time because they had to play against the Lakers, and the Lakers are my guys. But it pains me to say this, but I think though I just think the Warriors are gonna win. They're just gonna clutch out. They're gonna find their groove. They're gonna be like the Golden State Warriors, like they were in previous years in the playoffs. I just think the Warriors are going to win, just simply because it's basically the same story as the Sacramento. Like this game, they should not win this game, but they are because it's the Golden State Warriors and they know how to win in these situations. Warriors take it by a little bit. All right, and now they have our 10 versus 9 matchup, or 10 versus or the loser of the winner of whatever. Anyway, we have Atlanta at Philadelphia. Um, yeah, I gotta go with Philadelphia here, right? I mean, as long as they have Joel Embiid, I'm pretty sure that's enough to take out Atlanta. Yeah, so I think Philadelphia is gonna win. I don't see Philadelphia ever missing out in the playoffs. I think that's too dramatic for me to not predict here. So I do think Philadelphia should be able to come in here. Especially if they do lose that first game against Miami, they should be able to come back here focused. You know, they still have Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, Hawks defense. I don't think Hawks defense really has an answer for them two both at all. I mean, while I did think Miami's defense had an answer both of them. I don't think Atlanta's defense had an answer both of them. Plus, I think Philadelphia has more star power, so we're gonna go with Philadelphia here. All right, and now let's move on to the actual NBA playoffs here. So we got the first round here on action where we have the 8th seeded Warriors taking on the number 1 seeded Oklahoma City Thunder. Listen, give credit to the Thunder, man. The Thunder look good this year. I thought they really deserved that number 1 seed. Like you may look at some seeding in the NBA and say that they didn't really deserve to be. Okay, so he's actually a team that actually deserved to be number 1 seed because they looked absolutely dominant this year. Meanwhile, look at the Warriors; they can compete against anybody, and I think the Warriors can beat anybody. This OKC team is tough. They're here to win, and if I'm being honest, this is going to be a very competitive series. It's going to go back and forth, but at the end of the day, I am going to take the Warriors season to end here. I'm going to take the Thunder to win the series in 7 games. No doubt in my mind that the Warriors are going to give OKC a fight if this does happen. No questions asked. But I do think OKC can win. They're going to show off their power. They're going to show off why they're the number 1 seed for a reason. And OKC is going to beat the Warriors in a nail biter in 7 games. But this series will be fantastic if we get it. All right, next we have Dallas at the Clippers. Oh man, like this is actually a time. This is actually the series that we actually had time to really predict because this series actually been out for like a week or something like that. But anyway, Dallas has a lot of star power over there, man. Clippers have a lot of star power too, so this is going to be a very offensive series. I don't really know who to predict here because both offenses are so good. They're so good. They're so dynamic. I don't know who to pick here. Dallas, Luca, Kyrie, they've been looking great. Clippers, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, they both been looking great. This series will basically go anyway. If you're asking me, this series is going to 7. But I'm gonna give the slight here to Dallas because the Clip. Actually no. Actually no. I'm gonna go 6. I'm gonna go 6. I was actually thinking about 7 here, but I'm gonna go Dallas in 6. I do think they gave it. They get it done on their home floor. Um, this series could. I was talking to myself into it. Like this series realistically could go to 7. I wouldn't be shocked if the series did go to 7. But I think Dallas, the way I've been playing, this is. I do think this is Luka Doncic's revenge here. I do because the Mavericks did lose to the Clippers a couple years ago in the playoffs, but I think Dallas gets a revenge here. Luka's gonna go off. Kyrie's gonna assist them. Clippers known to have that series when they choke in the playoffs, and this is just what I think. Unfortunately for the Clippers, I just think this is what's going to happen here. Taking Dallas in 6 games, like I said, it's going to be a hard fought series, but I'm taking Dallas. All right, and now we have the 6 seeded Suns taking on the 3 seeded Timberwolves. Oh my God! I mean, listen, this series has everything that you can ask for. Both teams' defenses are not too good. Okay, they're not too good. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. You have all the offense that you want to have in this series. Suns, KD, D Book, Bradley Beal, Grayson Allen, like all 4 of those can provide really good offensive weapons for you guys. Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert when he's in the paint, Karl Anthony Towns, if he comes back, like holy shit, like how many offense do you want in this series? Like every game is going to be a shootout between these two. And it's so fun. It's going to be so fun to watch because listen. This one's going to be another competitive series. Like I said, I'm expecting an offensive explosion out of these two teams, but I am going to take the Timberwolves in 7 games, and the other reason is it's just simply because they have home court advantage, and that's very going to help them a lot. Now, if Phoenix had home court advantage, would I go with the Suns here? Yeah, I probably would. But this game 7 would be in Minnesota if they did force it. I do think Minnesota nearly comes out with a win. They're gonna take Phoenix down here in the first round. They're gonna take them down in 7 games. But like I said, I'm expecting every game to be a shootout, and this series should be one of the best in the first round. Anyway, next up here we have the 7 seeded Lakers at the 2 seeded Denver. All right, guys. All right, listen. I'll be honest, okay? I know. I'll pick my Lakers. I know this is the time that I normally get greedy. This is the time I get biased about picking the Lakers. Yes, I know that. This is the time I get biased. But come on, let's be honest here. Listen, coming into the playoffs, I said the Lakers. I would pick the Lakers, right? I said I would pick the Lakers against any team but one team. And I said that right because I think the Lakers I think we're capable of beating like Minnesota. I think we're capable of beating OKC. I think we're capable of beating the Clippers or Dallas. But but like I said, there is just that one team that I would not pick the Lakers to beat in this series, and that it was the Denver Nuggets. I think Denver takes us out in 5. It pains me to say it. I don't want to say it. It grosses me out to say this, but Denver is just a better team. Come on, let's just face it. Let's be honest. Even if the Lakers did come in here, go into Denver, you would have to go to Denver for games 1 and 2, and the Nuggets just had your number. The Los Angeles Lakers have not beat Denver since 2020, and that's just something that just can't. I just can't pick the Lakers here to win this series. Like I said, I want to be greedy here, but I think the Nuggets win this series in 5. I want to say the Lakers at least get a game from them, but yeah, I'll go Denver in 5. This is just a bad matchup for us. All right, and now we have the 8 seeded Philadelphia 76ers taking on the number 1 seeded Boston. Oh my God, listen how gross it is for Boston to be the number 1 seed right now. It's absolutely disgusting. I did not want to see this at all. But Philadelphia can definitely give this team a challenge, man. They have Joel, Tyrese Maxey. This team still has a really good team, and they have an offense to flow with them. So even if we did get this match in the first round, I would be pumped up for it because Philadelphia actually has a team that compete with Boston. So and with Boston, I don't think this is going to be an easy first round matchup for them. Normally for Boston, when you think of their overall success this year, you would think this would be an easy matchup. You would think that the Celtics would have an easy matchup here, but realistically, I don't think they do. I think Philly's definitely going to give them a challenge, but I'm not expecting Philadelphia to win this series. Even if it did happen, I'm not expecting it. I'm going to go Celtics in 6 games, just simply because I just think Boston's just a better team, and that's just plain and simple. I just think Boston has too many weapons to throw at. Philadelphia has weapons, but Boston has too many weapons. If you guys know what I'm saying. Celtics take this 1-6, and if I'm being honest, I hope I am wrong here because fuck Boston, honestly. But yeah, but if I'm being realistic, I gotta go Celtics in 6 games, just simply because I just think they're a better team, and home court advantage is definitely gonna help them out here. All right, next up we have probably one of my more favorite matchups here in the first round. But anyway, we have the 5 seeded Magic taking on against the 4 seeded Cavs. Listen, okay, I'm gonna tell you guys one thing, right? Expect the series to go to 7. Expect it to go to 7. Don't be, yeah. This is like, don't even question like, is this series going to end in 6-5? No, no, no. This series is going to end in 7, and I'm pretty sure I'm comfortable that's going to happen. Anyway, both of these two teams like play the similar ball, man. Like it comes down to that scenario that you guys know how I pick the home team every single time that I like we have a game like that. Like both teams are so equal that I have to go with the home team here. And that's basically just the same scenario here. I mean, Orlando can definitely win this series, 100%. I think Orlando has a golden opportunity to win this series. But I am going to take Cleveland. I'm going to take Cavs in 7, and I'm taking the Cavs is just because, like I said, whoever the home team hits here is going to close out the series, and that's the Cavs. I'm going to take them to 7 games. But if Orlando does win this series, I mean, Cleveland did lose in the first round last year. So if they do it again, I don't know, man. But I think the Cavs finally get over the hump this time. They're going to win the series in 7 games. But But let me tell you, this series is going to be a war. I'm comfortable about that. All right, next we have the six-seeded Pacers taking on against the three-seeded Bucks. I don't know if you guys heard what I said about the Bucks earlier in the video, but why did the Bucks always get the three seed? Like seriously, this is the like I said, this is like the third time out of the last 4 years the Bucks had the number one seed. The only time that they didn't have the number one seed is last year when they were the one seed. But still, come on, Milwaukee always finds a way in the three seed. It really could be annoying, but okay. So let's talk about this series in general. Indiana has a team to keep up with Milwaukee. It's going to happen. Indiana's offense is very dynamic. Bucks offense is really good too. So in this series, I think the series is going to go down to seven. I think it's going to seven. Honestly, this is another great first round. Now, if you're in Milwaukee, would you drop to the three seed? I think this is a more favorable matchup for you because not saying that the Pacers are weak, they're not weak. They're very strong. They can easily take out Milwaukee. Let me tell you, they can easily do it. Especially with Giannis' injury in question. Oh yeah, no question. They can definitely take out Milwaukee. But Indiana, Indiana has that team, man. Their offense is dynamic. Their defense is getting better. But like I said, I think this series is going to come down to who I think is a better defensive team here, and I'm going to take Milwaukee. I'm going to take the Bucks in 7 games because Game 7 will be in Milwaukee, and I just think that's going to be. And I do think the Bucks are just going to be focused in that regard. So anyway, I can see a lot of people picking the Pacers here. I can definitely see it. Definitely with Giannis' injury in question. But I'm gonna go with the Bucks in 7. I'm still a believer in the Bucks. I do think they can do it. We're taking the Bucks in 7. They still have Dame. I'm gonna take them. All right, and now we have the three seed. Oh, hold up. Time out. I forgot to do this. Hold up, we're gonna do it here real quick. Sorry about that. Okay, pause. All right, now I'm pause. All right, now we have the 7 seed Miami Heat taking on against the 2 seeded Knicks. Oh man. Listen, Miami Heat can definitely win this series, man. Like I said, I'm not gonna count out Jimmy Butler. I'm not counting out that team. Jimmy freaking Butler is coming to the house. Knicks are trying to look for revenge here. Knicks are coming off of a very good season. Miami, I think at this point is going to come out of the play tournament win over Philadelphia. This one's tough. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be a really good series. I'm honestly going to break this series actually pretty straightforward, and I am going to take the Knicks here in 7 games. No, now a lot of people are actually saying like Knicks in 5, Knicks in 4. No, you can't disrespect Miami that easily. You cannot do it. But I will pick the Knicks to win because I'm pretty sure they are going to look for revenge here. They're going to look for revenge for last year. Miami definitely has a team capable. We've seen Miami time and time again. Miami, like I said, I'm not going to count out Miami because Miami is time and time again, they tank out the higher seed, and Miami is very capable of doing that. Especially with the coaching staff and Eric Spoelstra, they can definitely do that. But I do think the Knicks covered. I think the Knicks get the revenge here. We're going to take the Knicks here in 7 games. But honestly, I do think this is actually kind of risky considering that the fact Jimmy freaking Butler's in the playoffs, and that's that one guy that you do not want to mess around in the playoffs. But anyway, I'm going to go with the Knicks, though. They get revenge here. All right, and now after a long first round, we have what's going on to the conference finals here, where we have the 5 seeded Dallas taking on the 1 seeded Oklahoma City. Okay, let's be honest. OKC, like I said, they've been dominant. They've been dominant. They've been nothing but dominant this year. Dallas has definitely has more playoff experience than OKC does because this is Dallas's moment. This is Dallas's moment right here. You have Luca, who has a lot of playoff experience already. You have Kyrie, who has millions of playoff experience. And then when you look at the Thunder squad, I don't really think anyone has playoff experience over there because because otherwise the playing tournament last year, I don't think the Thunder has too many playoff scenarios or guys who have playoff experience a long time. And one thing playing against a team like Dallas, I think you're going to need playoff experience to help you win this series. And even though OKC is a higher seed here, and even though they will have more games at home in this series than Dallas does, I'm gonna take Dallas here. I'm gonna take the Mavericks here in 7 games. I just think with OKC's non-playoff experience, that's gonna hurt them here. That's definitely gonna hurt them, and I'm gonna take Dallas to win the series in 7 games, and they're gonna take out the number one seed in the West. But but if OKC wins, I wouldn't be shocked at all. OKC can definitely win. This is definitely up for grabs. It's definitely going to be a very great series if we get it. But I'm taking Dallas here in 7 games if we do get it. Just like I said, Thunder's not non-playoff experience is definitely going to kill him here. All right, now we have the 3-seeded Timberwolves taking on against the 2-seeded Nuggets. Okay, so let's talk about this series real quick. Both teams have a dynamic offense. Both teams have a really good defense. Now, just talk about Minnesota's defense, which is really not that good. But the only reason why I said it wasn't that good is because you're playing against the Suns' offense that's really good. Overall, I think the Minnesota Timberwolves defense is actually pretty good. Meanwhile, looking at Denver, Denver is the defending champs. Denver's gonna do what Denver does. I mean, you don't have to expect anything other than that. Anyway, who do I think is gonna win this series? I think this one. I don't know, man. This one could realistically go anyway. Both teams match up. Both teams met here last year, but in the first round, I think. And I'm gonna give it to Denver again. I think Denver takes them out in 6 games. I think that's what they did last year too. It's just I just think Denver is gonna be too much here at the end, especially with if Denver was the 3 seed and Timberwolves were the 2 seed, I probably still would took Denver, but I probably would have took them like 6 or 7, probably 7 most likely. But I think Denver, especially with home court advantage first, game 1 and 2 being in Denver. If we do get this series, I like Denver in 6. I think Denver's gonna finish the business in game 6. But like I said, this one can easily go to 7. All right, now we have the 4-seeded Cavs taking on against the 1-seeded Celtics. I'll just say this right off the bat. Like I said, it pains me to say this, but Cleveland has a tough task here. You have to go into Boston games 1 and 2, and then you're probably going to be in a rough situation when you're probably not going to win the series. But listen, I'm rooting for Cleveland. I'm rooting for anybody against Boston this postseason. I am rooting for anybody. I don't even care if Denver. Like I'm rooting against anybody but Boston in the playoffs. Do I think Cleveland's going to give Boston a fight? Yes. Do I expect them to win this series? No. Even if we do, even if Orlando comes in here in the first, I would say the same thing. I would probably take the Celtics in 6 for both teams, even if Cleveland or Orlando gets here. But my pick, I say Cleveland gets here, and I think they lose the series in 6 games. Like I said, I just think that, unfortunately, I just think the Celtics are just going to be too much for the Cavs to handle at the end. Like I said, it's going to be a fantastic series. I'm expecting Cleveland to get Boston a fight, but I don't think it's gonna. Handle for all. I'm taking the Celtics in 6. All right, now we have the 3-seeded Bucks taking on against the 2-seeded Knicks. I'm pretty sure the Bucks are pissed off here because the Knicks actually took the 2 seed away from Milwaukee. So I think the Bucks are gonna come out here more pissed if in this matchup. If we do get it, I think the Bucks are gonna come out here more pissed and more motivated. Meanwhile, look at the Knicks. Like I said, they had a good season. Jalen Brunson's been playing out of his mind. The Knicks can definitely beat the Bucks here. I wouldn't be shocked if the Knicks beat the Bucks here. But just because I am a Milwaukee believer, and I believe that Giannis will be back for this series, well, Giannis should be back by this time. Giannis should be back. They have the clutch time player in the NBA. They have 2 closeout players. And then meanwhile, looking at the Knicks, they have a lot of good studs too. But Jalen Brunson's on the cloud player. I think this one's going to come out to more clutcher situations if we do get this series. And I'm going to take Milwaukee. I'm going to take Milwaukee in 6. Now this is actually kind of risky considering the fact that the Bucks have not really looked too good to end out their season. But like I said, I'm still a Milwaukee believer. I do think they can get the job done. It will be a tough task, but I'm gonna take the Bucks in 6. I'm taking the Bucks in 6. I do think they advance to the Eastern Conference Finals here, but man, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a tough series. Like I said, this one is kind of risky, but I'll take the Bucks in 6. I'm really for the risk. All right, and now let's move on to the conference finals predictions. But anyway, so starting off with the Western Conference Finals, we have Dallas at Denver with our 5 versus 2 seeded matchup. Anyway, look at this series real quick. Here's the thing. Dallas's offense is going to get tested in this game because Denver has a really good defense, and Denver in generally can stop Dallas on its own. Like that's what I'm saying, right? Anyway, look at that Dallas. They can definitely win this series, man. They can definitely do it. I do think Dallas has the team to be able to compete with Denver. But if I'm being completely honest with you guys, Denver, you guys know Denver is going to be Denver. Denver's going to do what Denver does, and that's what it is. Take care of home court advantage, and they're going to win this game, and they're going to win this series in one of the most dramatic series ever. I got Denver winning this series in 7 games, and the only reason is because I do think with Luka. Kyrie, Dinian Smith. I do think those guys can hang around with Denver offensively, and they will win a couple games offensively. But I got Denver winning is because it's a script. That's what it is. It's a script. Denver always wins in these situations. And yeah, I'm gonna go Denver here in 7 games. But like I said, if we do get this series, it should be a show. All right, now we have the Eastern Conference Finals where we have the Bucks at Boston versus our 3 versus 1 seeded matchup. Anyway, like I said, if I'm rooting for anybody in this series, it will be Milwaukee because like you guys know, I hate fucking Boston. You guys know that. But let's take a look at the series in general. I seriously, I really want to pick the Bucks here. I really want to. I've been more energized for me myself to pick the Bucks here. We will look at the Celtics. I think this team is dominant, especially with this team getting home court advantage first in the playoff series. If this does happen, I'm expecting the Celtics to put on a show. The home court advantage is definitely going to help them out here, and that's why I have Boston win this series in 7 games, just simply because they have home court advantage, and I do think Milwaukee without home court advantage is not going to be in a good situation. To the fact that I just think that Boston's just nearly going to pull through at the end. Like I said, I am hoping that Milwaukee wins the series. If they win this series, I will be happy as hell. But I'm gonna go with the Celtics here in 7 games. Like I said, I just think Game 7 in Boston is just gonna be too much for Milwaukee to handle. Celtics win the Eastern Conference Finals. They take it to 7. All right, and now we have the NBA Finals. My NBA Finals predictions to me: we have Denver at Boston. I think the series will actually start in Boston. Actually, matter of fact, it will if we do get it because Boston is the number 1 seed while Denver's a 2 seed. But anyway, wow, man, if we do get this NBA Finals, which I do think this is probably majority of everybody's NBA Finals, this one's going to be tough. Good offense versus good offense. Good defense versus good defense. Denver is looking to repeat as champions. Boston is trying to look for the 18th franchise title and take the lead over my Los Angeles Lakers, which wouldn't be ideal. But anyway, this series is coming down to the wires. Like I said, it's coming to the wires. It's going to be a great series. It's going to be an energetic series. It's going to be a stressful series. It's going to be a painful series. But at the end of the day, the 2024 NBA champions is going to be the other end, the defending champion Denver Nuggets. I'm taking them in 6 games. I think Denver gets it done once again. Now, and the other reason is because I trust Denver. I think they're better at executing in situations. Boston is good at that too, but I do think they fumble here time now and then, which I do think the Nuggets can be able to should be able to capitalize Denver. The Celtics were winning the streak, so like I said, it's going to be a good series. It's going to be a show. It's going to be painful. It's going to be stressful for both teams. But give me the Nuggets in 6 games. But like I said, it's just in clutch game situations that I just have a hard time the Celtics winning that matchup with Denver. All right, and that is going to be it for my NBA 2024 playoff predictions here. Like I said, that was a long ass video. So if you guys make sure you guys like subscribe. Make sure you guys like subscribe. Tune in Discord. Like I said, do whatever you have to do to support the channel. Anyway, I'm gonna hop off here, get this thing edited so you guys can watch it on time. Like I said, there's no NBA 2025 reactions. Anyway, like I said, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Peace out. Stay safe. See y'all next time. Peace out.